so much for pressing play on this video. And I'm really excited for this episode because I'm going to talk about something really fun, which is wedding planning and engagement season. If y'all don't know, I was engaged for only 3 months, planned my wedding in 3 months, and probably actually less than that. It was actually about like less than 2.5 months. And yeah, it was wild. We got married in Hawaii. We had a destination wedding. We live in Southern California, so it wasn't too far for us, but we do have family on the East Coast and Midwest. So it was a bit of an ask for them, but thankfully we have amazing family and we're so grateful for the ones who could be there. But I wanted to share a little bit of my process of how I planned my wedding, what it was like planning it, a destination wedding, and why we chose Hawaii. So we're going to kind of get into that today. Buckle up. For all my girlies out there who are organizers and planners and you're dreaming into your wedding one day, take notes because this is going to save you so much time and money, okay? So we'll first start with why we chose Hawaii. We chose Hawaii because, first of all, it's Hawaii. I mean, hello, have you been there? If not, you need to go yesterday. It is gorgeous, and even though we live in California, we are just obsessed with Hawaiian culture. We're obsessed with just like the warm weather, and it's different. When we squint really hard in California, we're like, oh, it's like we're in Hawaii, but it's just such a different vibe there, and everyone's just so chill, and it's awesome. We love it. We could live there. But more than that, we chose Hawaii because, well, we were dreaming into our wedding and wanting to have it here in California because we're going to do a big wedding. And someone really encouraged us and said, if you could have the dream wedding of your dreams, not for anyone else, just for you guys, where would you have it? And who would you invite? And we said we'd only invite our very close friends and family, and we would do it in Hawaii. And so we chose Hawaii when we talked about it because it's always been a personal place for both Cody and I where we have gone and just dreamed so big for our life, and God has just blown our minds every time we've gone there. And we were just like, well, we want a honeymoon there anyway, so let's get married there. And so I found this venue, and the minute that I showed it to Cody, he's like, done, email them, get it right now. And I was like, wait, what? We had just decided to go do the wedding there, and he's like, absolutely, I don't want to look at any other venues. That's the one. We're getting married there. And it was Kualoa Ranch in Oahu. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe he said yes to this. And so I emailed them. They sent me a couple dates in January. We choose the date, and it was no turning back because we put down a deposit. So that is why we chose Hawaii, because it's just a place of limitless dreams for us, and just really brought me back to just the innocence of the beginning of our relationship and just what God can do in our life. So that's why we love it so much. And the process of planning the wedding there is actually so much fun. I have to say, I had a ton of fun. It was very minimally stressful planning the wedding, even though it was only a couple months. A lot of people think oh, it was a short amount of time. It's probably even more stressful. It honestly wasn't. I can't imagine having my wedding on my mind to plan and organize all of those details for more than 3 months. That would be tormenting and haunting of my dreams if that were the case. So I'm really glad that we only took 3 months to plan it because it was way more doable in that amount of time, in my opinion, because I just like getting things done. I do not like having tasks looming over my head or anything like that. Now, I opted for a coordinator, and I only had a day of coordinator, so I didn't have the full package where you get someone to help plan months and months in advance. But because my wedding was so close, usually that's when the day of coordinator starts kicking in a lot earlier. So what usually happens is when you have a day of coordinator, usually about 2 months before the wedding, they start helping you with a lot more details. So pretty much as soon as I hired the coordinator, I had someone to help me throughout the whole process. So I found my coordinator, which also was a huge blessing. The way I found my coordinator and all of my vendors, I found through Facebook groups. You guys, This is the number one hack I'm going to give you. If you are planning a destination wedding, even if it's not destination, I mean, the most incredible deals are on Facebook groups, even Amazon deals. I was in an Amazon deal website where they would send you all these affiliate links of all of these sales, and I was getting stuff for like 50% off and all these discount codes because I was in that group. Then I was in a Hawaii brides group. Then I was in a San Diego's wedding decoration group. Then I was in a Hawaii vendor, photographer, videographer group. I was in all of these groups, and I was just getting so many referrals and recommendations from so many kind people. And that really is what made the planning process so easy and fun for me. And so I found my coordinator through this Hawaii brides group, which was amazing. And I was so in love with my coordinator that she was just incredible, so helpful, and very detail oriented. And that really makes a huge difference. Now, I know not everybody gets a coordinator, but I really wanted one because I had never been to this venue before. I did not know how to like source any other catering or decorations. Like I didn't know how to do any of that. So it was really helpful to get people on the ground, especially they knew the weather because Hawaii is crazy. Like you could be up in the mountains and it would be all cloudy, and then you get off the mountains and it's all sunny. And so she really helped me walk through all of the things that I needed to think about, like the wind and my decorations and just different things that I would have never known to process if it weren't for her. So get yourself in a Facebook group if you're planning your wedding. Destination or not, I mean, even no matter where you're located, I'm sure there is a Facebook group for wedding planning and other brides. So that's my number one recommendation. Another thing is Facebook Marketplace. Oh yeah. Okay, I found a flower designer for like 1/4 of the price that I would have gone through a florist to get this incredible flower arch. I had this vision. I saw this girl's wedding and I was like, oh, I want her arch. I love that. I'm going to do that. And so when I looked it up, it was going to be like $3,000. I'm like, no, 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 no. Your girl ain't doing that. And so I'm like, oh, let me go on Amazon and I'm just going to make it myself and I'll just ship it or I will put it in luggage. And so I get all this stuff on Amazon. I put this thing together. And when I set it up, I'm like, this may very well send me to my grave on my wedding day if I cannot get this looking right. And like, I cannot be thinking about a freaking fake flower arch on my wedding day. And if it looks scrappy, that's all people are going to look at is the fact that it looks scrappy. No one's going to look at the beautiful Hawaii because it's just going to be looking at this weird flower art. It was driving me insane. And even though I probably could have put a ton of time into it to really make it beautiful, it was just not coming out the way I wanted it to. I decided, no, like I need to put that to the side. I need to give it to God, and I need to hire someone to do the job better than I could. And so I went on Facebook Marketplace. I found this girl after messaging a bunch of people. I find this girl, and she's like, oh yeah, girl, I do flower arches at Kula Ranch all the time. I know exactly how to do it. I have the arch because you need to make sure you know somebody that actually knows how to do it. Otherwise, those arches can just go flat right down because of the wind, and they're very heavy. So I find this girl, she can do it, and she quotes me like 1/4 the price. I'm like, holy cow, this is a huge blessing. Mind you, this was 2 weeks before my wedding when this happened. I don't know why I waited that long to figure this component out. I just thought I was really confident in my flower arch making abilities, I guess. I don't know. Side note, I sold that arch for more than I bought it for. Praise God. So I hired this girl. She makes my flower art. She also does our incredible leis, like the most beautiful fresh flower leis. It was just stunning. And she did Cody's lei, it was a tea leaf lei, and she did all her boutonnieres as well. She was so talented. We were just so blessed by her. Found her off Facebook Marketplace. Incredible. Highly recommend her. So guys, you can just get so many deals out there. Don't just settle for the typical average places that you're going to go to unless you're just totally in love with their style and the way they do things and you're budgeting for that. But for me, I knew I wanted to budget more for, like, I wanted to put more of my money into other things, like things that I really cared about the uniqueness of them rather than like the florals or other decorative items. Like I didn't care as much about that because we're going to be in this beautiful garden and no one's going to be looking at my decorations. Everyone's going to be looking at this stunning Garden of Eden that we're in. And it really was true. And so I did that. And then in order to save even more money on florals, I didn't even hire a florist at all. I did all of our bouquets. Me and my bridesmaids, the morning of my wedding, we put together all of my bouquets because I got the flowers from the grocery store, and we went to a local park where we were able to pick leaves because I got a permit for it. Save the forest. Do not take too much. Make sure you get a permit. Very important you respect the land. But I got a permit from the Hawaii National Park Association thing and was able to go with my girls. We're literally in the forest, like clipping down leaves, absolutely legal. Don't at me. And we just took a few, enough for just a table spread, and I just did flat lays on my table. I didn't do full centerpieces because, again, like it's just not what I wanted, and I didn't care about spending tons of money on that. I wanted to spend money other areas. So I just did flowers and leaves, flat lay everywhere on the tables, and then we put our bouquets together, and they came out absolutely so gorgeous. I think I spent maybe 500 to $450 to $500 on my flowers total for the whole wedding, other than the arch. So that's a huge hack. So definitely going to the grocery store, doing your own florals, and real beautiful flowers. You do not have to buy fake either. Like I know that there's stuff on Etsy and silk flowers and all that crap. Like you can get real flowers really cheap from the grocery store. I went to Costco and I went to like 2 other grocery stores, and they were amazing. We pretty much cleared them all out though. So make sure there's no other weddings happening that same day. So always negotiate price. This is another thing. As I would get these quotes from these different vendors, I would always say, thank you so much. And here's my situation. Here's how many people I am needing to serve, whether it be catering, whether it be makeup. And I would always ask them to match the price of someone else I found. Because if I really like their style, I really wanted them to work with me, then I wanted them to match the other quote that I got from someone else, but I wasn't really totally in love with their style, but maybe I would have gone with them because they were cheaper. And just know that there's always wiggle room for negotiation, especially if you have like a referral from someone, or you're like, hey, so and so recommended you to me, and I was wondering if you'd be open to giving me 10% off. And that's another really great hack with working with a coordinator, is they usually get really good promotional discounts by referral because of them like working with all these vendors all the time. So a lot of my vendors were referred to me by my coordinator, and I would get a 10% discount with them, which was a huge win. Honestly, I mean, you're saving a couple $1,000s just by those discounts. So highly recommend negotiating your price as well, and then also asking friends and family to help with running errands. Oh my gosh, that was the biggest blessing. The biggest blessing from our wedding party. Like, I was really stressed going into the weekend just because your nerves are so high and you're just so excited. And that is such a beautiful thing. But your nerves are so heightened, and you just have this huge laundry list of things to do if you're going to do some DIY stuff, right? And you're wanting to save the money, but you know it's going to cost you, and a little bit of stress. But surrounding yourself with drama-free people and people who genuinely love you and want to like cover you and have your back, I cannot stress that enough. Do not invite people to your wedding that do not have your best interests in mind. I did not invite a single person to my wedding that I didn't want to be there. And not that I didn't want other people to not, like, it's not that I had anything against them. It's just that I wanted to protect that day to be so special, that I only wanted people there that I knew 100% were going to be there for us, not for them, not for the trip to Hawaii, but it was just going to be there to intercede for us and to cover us in prayer, because it wasn't just a day to celebrate us. It was a day that we were like making this, we took it so seriously. Definitely surround yourself with people who really care about you so much, and yeah, are willing to kind of like run the errands that need to get done in order for you to be fully present. So that was amazing. We had people, one of our groomsmen, I mean, all of our groomsmen, they really just stepped in, and they're like, hey, we can go to Lowe's for you and get these plants and then go return them after. And then I had my family driving around the whole island picking up baskets for me because my baskets didn't make it to Hawaii. And just like, it was just such a blessing. All these people coming through for us. And honestly, asking for help can be really hard. And especially when, you ask a lot of these people to come out for you and come to your wedding and invest time and money, and, you're just wanting them to have the best time. But it was like a really beautiful experience for them to care for us that way. And we just felt really loved by them doing that. And I'll never forget that. And I'll never be able to repay them, you know, and that's what love is. And so I just think that really just even caused our relationships to go so much deeper because we allowed people to come alongside of us and help carry the load. And that was really special. My maid of honors were absolutely out of this world. They helped with so many, like literally were like my second coordinators. I owe them my life, my firstborn child. They already know it, Phoenix and Sierra. I lay my life down for you. But yeah, that was just super helpful. So I'm going to backtrack a little bit too as I'm wrapping this up because we did not go the conventional route. And I think some ways I wish I did go the conventional route of certain things when you're putting in the details of planning the wedding. Like, for instance, I designed our invitations, which I think they came out really cool and really great. But then afterwards, I saw these other invitations. One after I mailed them all out, I saw these other invitations that were like really high scale in design and had all these other components and really cute envelopes. I'm like, why didn't I just go with that? Like, that is just so beautiful. I could have probably plugged and played everything on the website and just ordered it and had them mail them out. Like, I wouldn't have had to put all the work into doing it. Like, it's just some of it, I was like almost trying too hard to be original. So just like, don't, because when you're planning your wedding, you're seeing just all these other weddings out there on Pinterest and Instagram, and you're like, wow, they all look the same. What's going to be different about my wedding? And you're really wanting to stand out. And I just really felt a lot of pride in that. And I had to kind of settle myself down and shut down all social media and shut down Pinterest and really just get clear on Esther. Just do what you want to do, even if 5 million other women have done it. It doesn't matter. Like, be creative with the ways that are unique to you, but don't try to be so original. And I think that that was my issue at first. I was trying to do too many original things, and they just didn't come out as excellent as I wanted to, like, put forth, you know, like to showcase, hey, I really care about you. I want to present you with the best invitation or the best, even like my bridesmaids invites of asking them to be my bridesmaids and stuff. Like, I saw this thing on Pinterest where you put a little sand in the envelope and like this cute postcard from Hawaii and like all this stuff. I'm like, oh, that's so cute. I'm going to do that. I did not think of how messy that would be after I mailed that to my bridesmaids. No, it was totally a Pinterest fail. And like, I thought it was so original. I'm like, this is stupid. Like, I just saw one of my friends, she just did her bridesmaids ask, and they were like this cute cookie box thing with all these really cute flower cookies. And I'm like, why didn't I do that? That's so elegant. It's so cute. It's because I was trying to be original. Whatever. You win some, you lose some. But I will say one thing I am proud of that I did very excellently and it was original was I built my own wedding website. And that is because my husband and I are business owners and we have a whole software and SaaS that we use for our businesses and we help other business owners build their own as well. We have like a CRM system, which is basically your client retention. We have our, email lists. We know how to do mass campaigns and marketing and all of that. So that's not a problem. So I had all the software already. Why am I going to pay $30 more a month for the next 3 months to house all the contact info just for this little splash page? No, I can do this for free on my own. Plus, I can make it way cooler. So, and customizable. So I did that and I built my own wedding website, fully automated. I did my messages, I did text messaging, I did email, I did reminders. We even had a completely separate wedding website for a virtual wedding. And that we had like 100 people on that one where we invited people virtually to our wedding who couldn't physically be there because we only had about 42 people at our wedding. So we had a Zoom link connected to that virtual wedding invite and it would automate, send to them, and then even remind them throughout the day on our wedding day of when to tune in and how to do so. So that was really cool, and we loved building the wedding website. I really had a lot of fun putting time into it and designing it, but I love stuff like that. I nerd out on that. So that was really fun. And I also used ChatGPT to help plan my wedding, which if you guys don't use, you definitely need to do that. I mean, I would ask ChatGPT tons of questions about wedding planning, and then I used it to help come up with creative ideas of how to make people feel, excited and welcome about being in Hawaii, things for them to do. So I would get ChatGPT to give me all these ideas of activities and organize it based off of our schedule. And then I created this whole itinerary for people if they wanted to go out and do fun things. And I sent them to everyone that RSVP'd. They automatically got a downloadable PDF, really cutely designed, of ideas and activities that they could do in Hawaii. So that's just one example of how I use ChatGPT to help plan my wedding. But all of these hacks helped me plan my wedding in 3 months. And if I can do it, you can do it. Doesn't matter if it's destination or not. If I can plan a destination wedding, surely you can plan at home, wherever you're at, wedding in 3 months, no matter how long, or 6 months, however long you want to take. I say the shorter the better. But I hope this has been helpful to you ladies out there. And just know that the preparation in planning your wedding, really the most important thing, honestly, is preparing for marriage. It is not just about planning a 1 day celebration. It is planning for a marriage. And the stress that you carry in planning your wedding, whew, I've never experienced anything like it. Even though mine was very minimal compared to most, the 2 weeks leading up to the wedding were so stressful just because we had to travel a lot for the holidays. I wish I could go back and not do that, but we really want to be there for our family. But the stress was so intense the 2 weeks leading up just because there's so many decisions to make. And we're trying to get spray tans. I'm trying to get my nails done and I have people coming into town. It was so intense. And I was moving and woo, it was a lot. And that stress really, it really caused a lot of division in our relationship. But every time we would get in an argument or something, it would always bring us back to the basics of why are we marrying each other? And this is relationship. This is what life is going to be like. It's not like you get married, you reach that destination, and all your problems go away. No, it's real life. And so it really helped us, I think, like navigate real conflict and navigate real moments of high pressure. I mean, I literally threw a Amazon package at Cody a couple days before our wedding because I was so upset with him about something. And that's just real life, guys. Like we're gonna have these moments that we just, we abruptly have a reaction, and that's relationship, is learning how to confront those things and to have healthy conflict resolution. So yeah, like marriage is more important than a wedding, but use the wedding preparation season to definitely help you get more in alignment with your future spouse and come together in those moments to pray together, to align in your values and your vision for the day. Have a vision for the day. And the last thing I'll leave you with is I planned my wedding with 2 questions in mind. I said, what do I want people to feel and what do I want people to believe? And I answered those questions. I said, I want people to feel a heaven on earth experience. I want them to feel an overwhelming love. I want them to feel a sense of almost out of body experience. Like they're in Hawaii, the music is playing, they're watching this incredible view in front of them of Chinaman Hat and the ocean as they are witnessing us exchange vows. And I want them to feel the same sense of love for themselves that God has for them, but also if they're married, that they would be reminded of their own moment with each other and vow with each other. And then if they're not married, of that to come. And so I wanted people to feel that weight of love and power and heaven on earth. And then I wanted them to believe in the power of covenant, that covenant is something so sacred and it's more than just a piece of paper, that's the contract that we sign, but the covenant is between us and God. And that really is what sets apart our marriage from the rest, and that there's something that they're witnessing that is going to be glorifying to God, and that we wanted them to see the distinction of that, as opposed to just like, oh wow, they just got married, woohoo, it's a party. It's not just that. It is something so much deeper. And so those are the 2 questions that I asked myself. Maybe you'll have other questions that you can ask yourself that will help clarify your vision for the day. And then throughout the day, put pieces of yourself and pieces of your heart, pieces of your love for your people So many brides on my Facebook group shared so many great ideas, and I just think it's so creative how they celebrated the people that showed up for them. And you can only do so much, so don't overwhelm yourself. But I hope that these tips have been helpful, and I'll see you next time.